Alright, Dr. Retro back at it again. Zing, a 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 zing. Okay, enough of the stupidity. Time to get serious. Nah, I'm just kidding. Well, serious enough. This is a podcast I'm gonna do right now, and it's called the video games that made us. How this works is I talk about a video game that everybody grew up with, and I tell you a little bit about the game, the backstory about the game, the everything. Okay? And there's gonna be spoilers if you haven't played this game, so you're warned. Spoilers ahead if you've not played these games. First game we're gonna talk about today is the greatest one of all time. The greatest game. The game that started Nintendo. Donkey Kong! Now, Donkey Kong came out in 1980. I think. 81, 82. Something like that. In the 80s. Early 80s. When Donkey Kong came out, it was a masterpiece. You play as a little dude, you save a princess from this big gorilla man, dude, whatever you want to call it. Big gorilla. And your objective is just to save her. So you go level after level. There's only 3 levels, but you go through those 3 levels over and over and over and over and over. Until you get to the final level, and then you see the screen going, game over because the game is over and you won. Or whatever. And that game introduced one amazing character that you know today as Super Mario. Right? This is the guy who saved that princess. You know what that princess name is? That's right. Mario saved a princess before Princess Peach. And her name is... I'm trying to remember. I can't remember her name. If anybody knows the name of that princess, let me know. We all know that Mario started off in Donkey Kong. But his name wasn't Mario. It was Jumpman or something like that. Right, Jumpman. Which Mario came in at around 1984, 5-ish. 85, right? Yes. The Super Mario Bros. Game came out in 1985. That was the first ever introduction to the Super Mario world. The Super Mario franchise. When that game came out, it was fantastic. And that's the next game we're talking about, right? We're going to talk about Nintendo and the history of how those video games made us. Because if it wasn't for Nintendo, we wouldn't have PlayStation. Right? If it wasn't for Atari, we wouldn't have Nintendo. And Atari is going to be a conversation for another time. Right now, this is the Nintendo games that made us. So Donkey Kong, fun game. You climb ladders, you jump over barrels. You try not to get killed. While saving a princess. Which in Super Mario Bros. You save a princess named Princess Peach. But in the older games, she was actually Princess Toadstool. Then later on, changed it to Princess Peach. Because they thought Princess Toadstool was a little, I don't know, weird maybe? I don't know. But Princess Peach, you save her. That's it. Game over, right? You save her. It's over. You're done. You beat the game. Perfect. Nothing to it. Then a year later, The Legend of Zelda was created. Hence, The Legend of Zelda, Zelda being a princess, and then you have the main character Link saving a princess. You get it. Nintendo loves princess saving stories. It's just you save a princess. It's most of those games that are just like that. Nintendo has that. The beginning of Nintendo was like that. Then in the late 80s, another Super Mario game came out called Super Mario 2. Then Super Mario 3 came out. Then Super Mario World came out in 1991. Then later on, you got Super Mario 64, which you know by now these games, they're always saving the princess, which is Princess Peach. In Super Mario 64, you see it saying Princess Peach, Princess Toadstool Peach, because that is the game that introduced the Peach to Princess Peach. Princess Peach was named Princess Peach because Nintendo wanted that into the 64. Then Super Mario Sunshine comes out, and Princess Peach is Princess Peach. Then Super Mario Galaxy comes out, which amazing game. You get Super Mario, you got Mario Kart, but let's talk about the GameCube for a little while. What game comes to mind when you think of the GameCube? Do you think of Super Mario Sunshine? Maybe, but there's one specific game you think about that made Nintendo, and that game is the video game that really made us from Nintendo. Well, most of us that play these games, most of us that took hours and hours from our days just to play this game for 2, 3, 4 hours a day. And we build stuff and we made it our life to beat each and every single story of this game until you could just do whatever you want in the game. What I'm talking about? Animal Crossing. The first ever Animal Crossing was on the GameCube. So if it wasn't for the GameCube, we wouldn't have all the other Animal Crossing games. So Nintendo gave us Animal Crossing. Then they gave us Animal Crossing City Folk, Wild World, New Leaf, but the most recent game is New Horizons, which is the best Animal Crossing video game ever created. That being said, now Nintendo has remastered Animal Crossing New Horizons for the Switch too, which I'm gonna say is pretty cool in a way. They're finally trying to make things good for people, They want to make this game, they had an update, They have a hotel now on the game. You have Lego collaboration, Zelda collaboration. If you get if you have the other, you have to get other stuff, just get those ones. But still, at least you get these collaborations if you have other things. If you're a huge Zelda fan and a huge Splatoon fan, you're gonna try to get those collaboration items no matter what, because you are a fan of those games too. And we got amazing games coming from Nintendo. And they're supposed to be making another Animal Crossing game. We don't know when, but Nintendo announced that they will make another Animal Crossing game, but they haven't made it yet. So it could come out in a year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. No matter when it comes out, I'm definitely going to want to get it because, as you all know, as a Animal Crossing fanatic, yes, I am. I started with New Leaf, which most people be like, that's not a bad game to start with for Animal Crossing. And then I played New Horizons. It's just an amazing game. The story is beautiful. You're on a desert island. You're trying to make it look nice. It's an amazing game. The backstory of that game, The storyline of the game is amazing. It's amazing. You create your character. You go to this desert island. You don't have no bells, which is money in this case. It's the money currency in the game, which is bells. So you have no bells to start off with. So you have to accumulate Nook miles. So you accumulate these Nook miles, and then once you accumulate 5,000 Nook miles, you pay off your first loan, and then you get a house. And you need to upgrade this house with bells until you get to the house being complete. And you have a upstairs, a downstairs, three rooms on the main floor, which you have back room, side room, this room here and a room here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 rooms, right? You have 5 rooms in a house, which is a standard house. And then you can move your house wherever you want to move it. If you want to move it near the beach, move it near the beach. You want to move it near the pier, move it near the pier. You want to move it closer to where red spawns, move it closer to where red spawns. It's amazing. And you can customize your house. Because when they made that DLC, Happy Home Paradise, that made us happy. Because once you beat the whole Happy Home Paradise thing, near the end of it, you get to upgrade your house. And, sorry, the camera fell. And you get to upgrade other villagers' house. You can make their houses bigger. You can actually make it different. You can change the furniture. So say you want one of your villagers to have a radio, a jukebox music player, or I don't know, a hay bed, or you change it to the way you wanted it to be so it looks nice. Now, that being said, it's amazing. You know how amazing it is? It's awesome. And I gotta tell you one thing. Never, ever, 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 ever play Animal Crossing unless you're willing to go through with finishing the game. Because I've played it over and over. I restarted, and now I actually I got the Gigas letter and everything. I got everything unlocked except for Brewster. I'm waiting to get. I get my seashell. All I need is to art. So I need to wait until Red's on my island again. Then once I get that piece of art, I will give it to a real piece of art. That one was a fake. I thought it was real. I'm hard to. I have to look online for the real one again. So whenever I do that, then I'll get Brewster, and then I'll be good to go. Because with the hotel, it's fun, and I beat the hotel thing like that. It's easy. It's easy. It's 8 rooms, a VIP room. You get 8 rooms in one VIP room, and you can over and over fix the room. You can change the rooms as you go. Change the rooms. It's amazing. I honestly like it in one way or another, because you just gotta change a lot of stuff, and you get more items now. Me personally, I love the Lego collaboration because the Lego items are amazing. It's a Lego DIY workbench that actually you can use. So craft stuff on a Lego DIY bench. Craft stuff on that, because at the end, you're crafting on Lego. Which, come on. Don't tell me that is not cool. That's amazing. And now, I know this video has been going on for almost like 15 minutes soon. So it's going to hit 15 minutes. So once it hits 20, we're going to stop. Each of these podcast videos are going to be about 20 minutes, maybe 25 sometimes. But the minimum is 20 minutes because I don't want to make it too long. So we're just gonna go for another 5 minutes. We're gonna talk about Nintendo and its opposing opponent, right? You know, the feud between Nintendo, PlayStation, and Xbox. Well, that's a trio that needs to stop fighting with each other. They need to speak about not fighting and create a console that includes all three. Because if that happens, then you know what it could be? You save money. Because each console costs like $400, $500, $600, $800, even $1,000 sometimes. So you got to do it. You got to. You gotta do this. They're amazing. Amazing. So we have 4 more minutes, and I'm gonna talk about the best thing in 4 minutes. You see Five Nights at Freddy's right here, huh? Five Nights at Freddy's. Great video game. Movies are good too. So let's take a break from Nintendo for a while because next time we're going to talk about Atari. But to end this video, we're going to talk about Five Nights at Freddy's. A game created in the 90s. 90s. Game came out before the millennial. Okay? Before 2000 hit. Then they created our ones. Five Nights at Freddy's 2, 3, and so on, right? You know the drill. There's so many of them. But the most recent one is Island of the Secret of the Mimic, which I never played yet, which I want to do one day. Because the only one I played before the Secret of the Mimic is Security Breach, which I hear Secret of the Mimic is a prequel. So I like prequels to things, to movies, TV shows. But let's talk about Security Breach for a second. It was an amazing game. The DLC was good too. I gotta say, Security Breach was amazing. You are getting help from an animatronic that jump scares you in the older games. You getting help from Freddy Fazbear, while being chased by Chica, Monty, and Roxy because Bonnie, apparently, right? He was disarmed. He was dead. He's killed. He died. Which kind of sucks because Bonnie was. This is the OG right here, huh? Chica, Bonnie, Freddy, the OG with Foxy. But now you have Monty and you have Chica, Monty, and Roxy. Then you gotta disable them. You take Chica's voice box. You take Monty's claws. You take Roxy's eyes. You upgrade Freddy. Then at the end of the game, you have to if you just did Chica, then at the end of the game you can do Monty, because you have to do Roxy. You have to. There's no. I want to do Chica, Monty, and then no. It's Chica or Monty, Roxy. Then whichever one you didn't do with Chica, or if you did Chica, then you Monty. If you did Monty, then you do Chica. Which, me personally, I would do Monty, then do Chica at the end, and then try to do that ending, and then do the Vanny ending, and then do another ending, because there's multiple endings. If you do all the endings, then you're fine. And sorry, but we're almost out of time, so I'll leave you guys on one thing. What do you think we're going to talk about when we talk about Atari? What is the one game that we're going to talk about? If you guys can guess it in the comments, then I will give a shout out to that person in the next video. So whoever guesses this game that we're going to talk about, that Atari made, which is an amazing game, you will be right and shout. So, that being said, this has been the Dr. Retro and the video games that made us. Until next time. Do, 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 do.